The Boys Club and 5 things we learned from Bob Collymore's send-off. If July 1st was a public holiday, then chances are the celebrations would be postponed due to Bob Collymore's death. Bob died and the whole country came to a standstill. I mean literally. Until recently, 95% of Kenyans knew Bob Collymore mostly as the charismatic, multi-million earning Safaricom CEO. However, not many knew about his personal life and interactions with the powerful figures including presidents, high commissioners, and other high-profile corporate leaders. While many people knew about Bob's struggles with cancer, only the chosen few knew about the personal, real-life details of the late millionaire CEO Bob Collymore. Here's everything you need to know about the Boys Club and 5 things we learned from Collymore's send-off. Number 1. All members of the Boys Club are centimillionaires, even Jeff. As people continue to mourn the late corporate mogul, details of the Boys Club, an exclusive club for dollar millionaires, emerged on an interview in Citizen TV. The Boys Club boasts of powerful, mega-earning CEO members accustomed to taking flights just as easily as people grab matatus. The members are such as Patrick Kwako, owner and CEO of Radio Africa Group, which by the way owns stations such as Kiss and Classic FM, Bakrat Thakra, the billionaire CEO of marketing giant Scan Group, KCB millionaire CEO Joshua Oigara, journalist and high-profile host Jeff Koinange, and the outspoken Peter Kenneth, who by the way is a not-so-successful politician. As can be seen from the above members, the Boys Club is exclusively for the big boys, guys who have breakfast in bed, lunch in Germany, and later on enjoy a game of golf at Karen Golf Course. Number 2, he was filthy rich. In our previous video, we talked about how, based on earnings, Bob was not your average SpongeBob. Inclusive of bonuses and non-cash benefits, the modern-day legend earned a whopping 196 million shillings in 2018. In his eulogy to Collymore, Kenneth revealed that Bob was not just a white-collar executive CEO, as he could also take off his tie and switch gear to serve as a pilot. Bob loved his toys, and that he trained Peter Kenneth to ride a chopper only proves why you could never find Bob stuck in the traffic. Kenneth also mentioned the late Collymore's exquisite class in fashion, remembering an instance where the late CEO recommended his Ghanaian ultra-expensive tailor to his friends. Get this, the tailor was so expensive that even Peter Kenneth and Jeff Koinange could not afford his services. Whether Kenneth's statement on affording is true or just humor, we don't know. How about you let us know? Number 3, Bob planned his send-off. If you watch the news or listen to news or talk to people or, basically live in Kenya, you should know by now that Bob Collymore knew his time was up. In fact, Bob took the necessary steps and reached out to every relevant person in his life in efforts to prepare for his final send-off. Bob Collymore's doctor had informed him that living past July was highly unlikely, but as we learned in the past week, not only did he inform his exclusive crew of billionaire and centimillionaire buddies, he also informed the president, who availed himself a couple of days later. The two tycoons spent an intimate afternoon together where they talked about life and business. Interestingly, Bob was prepared to the extent that he even assigned Scan Group CEO and the new captain of the Boys Club, Bakrat Thakar, with the task of planning for his cremation. Bob left a challenging message that showed he had come to peace with his situation. Here goes, and I quote, "Death is inevitable, and I have made the decision not to cling on to the thought of it because it will eventually come. I just do not know when. I have chosen to focus on the things that are more important to me. Now I know it's kind of impossible for somebody to live for 200 years, but something very important is that when you have cancer, the idea of death is near, and so it does not surprise. Unlike you who is healthy, but death could be coming in the next minute or tomorrow morning." End of quote. Quite a deep message from the late Bob Collymore. Number 4, the boys loved their fun. So you think liquor worth 50,000 is expensive, huh? Think again. When the boys met for the last engagement prior to Collymore's death, they were shocked when Bob proceeded to open a bottle of whiskey which he had reserved for a special guest. According to a member of the exclusive Billionaire Club, Bob opened the Johnnie Walker Director's Blend, a rare 130-year-old blend of premium rich whiskey worth a whopping 195,000 Kenya shillings, or if you prefer, approximately $2,000. Here's an interesting fact to keep in mind: only 504 bottles of the 195,000 shilling worth Johnnie Walker blend were made. In the memorial ceremony, President Kenyatta also joked about the bottle, claiming he was the distinguished guest the liquor was meant for. Number 5. Collymore was a friend of the state. Knowing Kenya's reputation of politicking in funerals, it was a genuine shock to see political leaders behave and conduct themselves with utmost dignity. Collymore's mass was attended by several dignitaries, including two of the most senior people in office, the president and his deputy. As revealed by Uhuru, Bob used to have personal communication with the president and would even go to the extent of leaving the president several missed calls in case he didn't respond. Wow! How many CEOs can ring up the president at 2 a.m.? Guess right, none. The president revealed that he and Bob were close buddies and that they would often advise each other on matters involving governance. Number 6. Jeff Koinange is connected as... When Jeff Koinange interviewed Manu Chandaria in his JKL show, details of their long-lasting friendship came as a shock to many. Of course, people knew Jeff as a high-flying genre, one who worked for CNN and continues to make money off his deep and often exaggerated husky voice. However, in addition to being a grandchild of the famous Koinange chief and a cousin to Uhuru Kenyatta, Jeff is also among the most connected senior journalists in Kenya, with hundreds of meaningful communications and connections both locally and internationally. In 2018, you will be shocked to learn that Jeff Koinange received a personal invitation to the wedding of Aliko Dangote's daughter. In case you don't know who Aliko Dangote is, here's something interesting to chew on. Dangote is Africa's richest man, worth a mouth-watering $10.2 billion.